Hey y'all, how's everyone? I decided I wanted to come on to speak to you all. Let me do this, make it a little bit more presentable. 1 second. Ooh, this is not presentable. I'll just do it like this. I'll hold it. Let me wait until people come in. I don't even know if anyone's going to come in. Well, yay, I have two people. How is everyone? How is everyone doing? Can you guys hear me? Can everyone that's in here hear me? Let's see. Ugh. Okay. YouTube has changed everything. How's everyone? I have been doing I'm alive. I'm trying not to complain because I've been on this journey of trying to be positive. You know how when people say hi, how are you? More than likely, most people they really don't care about how you're doing. It's not that they don't care. It's just hi, how are you is just a form of a greeting. And so most people are going to say, hi, I'm good. And so they're not really expecting to explain the situation because it's just normal American English. But with me, when someone says, how are you? I take it literally as if they're asking me. And so a lot of times it's not good. Actually, most of the time it's not good. And so recently I've been trying to fake it until you make it, as they say, and just say I'm okay or I'm good because when I tell the truth, more bad stuff keeps happening and it's just more negative energy. And so yeah, I mean, personally, I am not okay. Like I have not been okay for a long time. Even when I used to make videos like consistently, I have not been okay. Even before then. Um even like when I was under someone else's roof, I wasn't okay. So it's just been most of my life of not feeling okay and just dealing with it internally and not talking to someone about it or seeking help about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the problem is. I think it could be like anxiety or like depression. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, it's definitely depression. I'm sure depression has something to do with it, as well as some anxiety as well. Because at times when I'm talking to people in real life, even at work, I feel like I cannot even form a sentence at times, or that my pitch is too low at times. Or if I want to heighten my pitch, people may say, "Why are you yelling at me?" or something. So it's hard for me to even articulate myself because I just feel like there's a block between the inner side of me and what I'm trying to say to the other person. And it's not because I can't speak, it's just because that I feel like I gotta catch my breath and I got to block the wind that's literally inside of my chest in order for me to articulate what I'm trying to say. And I feel that, and I've done a little bit of research on it. And if you have like depression or anxiety, it can definitely mess up your speech. It can cause you to stutter. It can cause you to slur your words. It can cause you to not make sense at all when you speak. And so you got to repeat yourself. And this past year, especially this past year, going back into the workplace and everything, at times I would speak to people and certain people would not understand what I'm saying. And I'm talking about like people who are in management. And so I had this customer, I guess through the universe, and this person was like a speech pathologist or whatever. And I was explaining to her the situation, and she was telling me that I'm not the problem. It's probably them because she understands me perfectly. But the thing is, it doesn't happen all the time, you know. So right now, it's okay. I'm feeling it right now, but I'm not in the presence of anyone. I mean, I'm talking to you all, but no one's in front of me while I'm talking. And so it's not an everyday thing, but I do feel like at times, in order for me to articulate myself in a better way, I have to think about it as opposed to just letting it flow freely. And so it happened today when I was trying to ask someone about fitness and how much they cost per month for fitness. And I couldn't even verbalize what I was trying to say. I was trying to ask the person what they specialize in, like, what type of fitness is this? And so I didn't really know how to word the question. And it's not that I can't speak English, it's just the fact that I think, actually, no, it's not what I think. Depression and anxiety has something to do with it. Um, and I don't know. It's just always been that way. But I remember growing up, even when I used to speak to one of my parents used to say, "Oh, what are you speaking gibberish?" Because I used to slur my words. But at that time, I was really young. I was like a teenager, or hell, probably younger than that, maybe a preteen. And so, of course, you don't know, okay, this can be anxiety or whatever. But I'm not sure what it is. Again, I could just be overthinking, but I'm sure that it has something to do with it because I'm feeling it right now. You know how, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Let's say you got into it with a coworker, right? And I'm gonna make you feel the intensity of how I feel. Let's say you got into it with a coworker and you really need to speak to someone about it. And you don't speak to someone, maybe they're not reachable until like a month later. And so over time, the stress of it all is just getting to you and getting to you and getting to you to the point where 31 days, 30 days, whatever time of the month it is, a month passed, and you finally get to speak to that person who's the superior, right? And it's just the moment you're able to speak to that person, it's like you just can't control your emotions, you know? It's just hard for you to even speak to that person in a normal tone, right? And so that's just how I feel. That's just how it is when I'm trying to speak to people regardless. And again, it doesn't happen all the time, but it feels like I have to catch my breath and and I just struggle with trying to elaborate my thoughts. It's a very yes, it's a very common thing that people go through. So I'm thinking, well, maybe God is punishing me because I've been picking on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and stuff like that. But I also feel like it has to do with nervousness, maybe. You know, because right now, I'm working like a menial job, and it could just be something simple. Like today, for example, I was trying to tell a shift supervisor that, hey, you know, this bucket of cut chicken is filled up. And I couldn't even say that. I was like, well, this is filled. So I felt like I struggled to tell this person that I cut up some chicken and it was filled. And it's very basic English. And again, it doesn't happen all the time. It's just, you know, it just happens every now and then. And I don't know. So, and I'm feeling it right now where I can't catch my breath. And I feel like there is a moment where I have to just take an extra breath in order to breathe. And so I'm not sure what's going on. I know there's something going around. I heard there's this respiratory sickness is going around, and also in my area there's just like this gastrointestinal virus going around. So I don't know if that's the case. You know, it could be a respiratory issue. I'm not sure, but I heard someone was telling me they went to the doctor and the doctor was telling them that. I know a lot of people are getting sick. Like I went to the grocery store today, and I know the girl, and I asked her what was wrong. She said she was sick, and she saw me pick up my stuff, but I didn't want to embarrass her. I told her I'll be right back. But in other words, I went to the other line because I could her face was like really white, you know, like white. So it just looked like something was wrong. So she said she's sick. So I went to the other cash register. But yeah, so I mean, something is going around, but I firmly believe it's anxiety or it's like depression. Because I do remember Alyssa Milano talking about it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of her, in terms of like what she stands for and everything. I do like her on Charmed and, her as an actress, but just not, you know, not really her track record as a person. But she has anxiety too. And I do remember her talking about this on The View like 4 years ago, where she talks about how her anxiety causes her to have to take like extra deep breaths in order to speak and stuff. So it's a very normal thing that people go through. It's very normal. So yeah. And again, like I said, it doesn't happen a lot. It happens when I'm talking to someone like in person. But during those times, it doesn't happen all the time, you know? So, and it's been like this for a while because I always question, well, why can't these people understand what I'm trying to say, like in the workplace? And I know the state that I live in is like number 47 in terms of education. Like we are at the bottom of the totem pole. And so like one time I told my store manager, I'm like, this is retail. So I was like, the shoes are in misrotation. And he did not understand what that meant. So what that means was like the shoes are positioned in the wrong way because of customers are positioning the shoes in the wrong way. So misrotation is an actual existing word. So that was on him for not understanding that. But maybe that's not common speech that a normal person would say. But that's just how I said it. I'm like the shoes are in a misrotation, and so there is a way where the shoes are supposed to be presented when they're on the shelves, and so he just didn't understand misrotation. So I think that was on him for not understanding that, not me. Um, but but yeah, and on top of that, there's just a lot of signs, especially for people who suffer from depression. One of the big signs is cleanliness. I suck at cleaning. I really do. It's like if I show you right now the mess that I have, the mess that has been here for a month, at times it's longer than a month, you would just look at me like I'm disgusting. Now, if I have like maintenance or people coming over, of course I clean up, but since it's just me, it's just like okay. And a part of that is because of depression. That's just a symptom of depression. People leave things on the floor for days. A lot of people don't even bathe. Now that's one thing I don't do. That's when it's like really severe. People don't want to get up and take a shower, get up to go outside or whatever. My thing is cleanliness. Like it's very hard for me to like even take out the trash or to even clean up after myself. Now if I had a roommate, of course I would do that. But when it comes to me, it's like, okay, well, there's no ramifications. The only ramification would be maybe a fly or maybe a roach or something. And it's not until I see a roach that I would actually get rid of everything because I don't like roaches. And I've always been this way. Even like organizing, like I'm not organized. Even when I was in college and in school, my book bag was always filled with papers. Like even if I had a binder or a folder, it still would be so unorganized. So if I just literally just flip the camera and show you, it's just disgusting. It's not good. Now I clean, I take a bath, I take a shower at least twice a day. That's morning, night, and that's minimum. That's minimum. And I don't go out. Now, if I took a bath in the morning, and then let's say I went out and then I came home, I'm gonna go take a bath again. And then before I go to bed, I'm gonna take a bath again. So, but in regards to just leaving to go to work, then you come home, you take a bath, or leaving, not leaving, before you go to work, take a bath or shower, go to work, come home, you take a bath. That's 2 times. But if I'm waking up in the morning and I'm taking a shower, for example, let's say I go out for a jog or something. When I come home after that, I'm gonna take another shower, and then I may go to work, and then when I come home again, I'm gonna take another shower. So that's when it's 3 times. So hygiene is not an issue for me. It's just hygiene in terms of like my space. I'll just say that. It doesn't smell, but the cleanliness. I guess hygiene wouldn't be the perfect word to use. The cleanliness is not cool. Um, and another thing about me is I work so hard for other people, but I don't work hard for myself. I don't. It's like I am a workaholic for someone. Like when I'm at work, I always keep busy, always have something to do. I know the definition of phone separation. I'm not on my phone. I've never been that. I've never been that way. To me, that's disrespecting the workplace. So you could say a lot of things about me. I've been told about my mouth in the past, but one thing you cannot say is that Jordan doesn't work, because I work. I work, and I believe in showing up to work on time, not on time, early. That's something you cannot take away from me. Um, and I work my ass off for other people. But when it comes to me, it's very psychologically backwards. I don't work for myself. It's like there's so much shit I can do for me. Even when I was a YouTuber, I struggled to make videos. Like I struggled. Yeah, you guys don't understand what I used to do to make like videos. It needs to be a struggle. Like I would be laying down talking about the topic, and some of y'all probably noticed. Some of you guys would say in the comments in the past that your mouth is too close to the mic. Well, that's because I was laying down and doing my commentary, and after I would do that, I would plug it into my laptop and then edit everything very quick like this. It was just even a struggle for me to post a video, and it was just very hard. So even during the times with me, like talking about The View and being critical about Meghan McCain, like it was very hard for me to do a video. Very hard. Even during the times when I was making very good money doing it, you know, like good. I'm talking about good money. This is how mentally deranged I am. Like when I say good money, I'm talking about like, I don't want to be too loud. $300 a day. One time it was $800 a day. And this is like when I was getting views when I would do the whole Meghan McCain commentary and everything. So this is a lot of money I'm talking about here. $800 a day. Who can sit here and say they made $800 a day? I can in the past. And it would be a struggle for me to even make a video doing that. So when people say that money doesn't buy happiness, that's definitely true. Because even when I was making good money on YouTube, I wasn't happy. And I'm still not happy. Hello. So, and I've thought about coming back because there's a lot of things I want to do and I want to talk about because I miss YouTube and I love YouTube, despite my pros and cons about it. Like I miss it so much. I really do. And if you guys don't notice, I've lost the weight again. So that's one good thing is that I lost the weight. But it's just like here is not. I'm good at losing this, but it's here that takes some time and some clarity and stuff like that. So this time the weight loss was unplanned. This is the first time in my life where I lost weight and it was unplanned because your boy has been carless for a year. So I've been walking and I've been eating like a dog. I've been eating whatever the hell I want to eat. But I'm telling you, I would walk 40,000 steps. You know, I would do 28 to like 35,000 steps 5 days a week at my job alone. That's how much I work and how much I walk even at my job. I would walk to work, which is like 4,000 steps, go to work, do like 25,000 or 22,000, walk back home, and then I would be at in between 28,000 to like 35,000 steps, sometimes 40,000 steps. And so the weight just came off on its own. Didn't really check my weight, nothing. One person noticed. They're like, each time I see you, you're getting smaller and smaller. And that's just for me not having a car. It'll be a year next month, actually. My birthday month, next month. It'll be a year. And I just realized yesterday, I'm like, wow, my birthday's next month. Like time is just, time, sooner or later, I'm gonna be 40. Time is just flying by. Like my 20s just went by fast. My 30s is gonna go by fast. Time is it's just moving in a rapid pace. So I bought some pants yesterday. I didn't try a size 34 waist, but I tried on a 36 a year later and it fits. So I guess I wear a size 36 now. So, so yeah. I mean, I just thought I should come on and say hello because I haven't been on here for a while, and then I've been abandoning you guys. And but this channel, I'm not sure if I can make a turn on this channel. Like, I'm not sure if I can bring it to um like a green light. Like everything's in a negative and stuff like that. And that usually happens to some people. I've watched some people even with a different genre on their channel, and it comes to the point where they tried for a while and they cannot like just make their analytics be positive, and so they would make a new YouTube channel and stuff like that. And so I've been saying for a long time that I want to make a YouTube channel. I haven't really done it. So, but I do miss it, but it's hard work. It's hard work. Like me, I'm a people person. Like I can't, like I'm blessed, don't get me wrong. Like the 2 years, actually 3 years where I worked like remotely, that was a blessing. The 2 years on YouTube and in 3 years I was doing something else remotely. That was a blessing. But it's working remotely, especially mainstream wise, is very overrated. It's very over. People don't talk about isolation. They don't talk about depression. They don't talk about the downsides. Everything is positive. Like if you're single, you don't have any kids, and you're a people person, you want to talk to people. It's not a good thing to just work remotely. Now, if you do hybrid, like 2 days somewhere else and then maybe 4 days, well, excuse me, 3 days at home, that's a different story. But it's just exclusively remotely. It's not cool. It's not fun, especially if you don't have a dog or a pet or kids or someone to talk to in your house. It's just not. Um, it's not fun. Have I thought? Yes, I have, but I haven't because again, I don't know. Um, and then that's another thing. Like I want to do that type of stuff, but you know how a lot of YouTubers they do these reaction videos where they just show like like for example, last night with Kamala Harris and Brett Baer interviews, like they just showed a clip and the person's just watching at the same time. It's like I have to buy, I'm gonna have to purchase something in order to do that. And then secondly, I'm gonna have to remember how to do that because it's been so long that I made a video like that. I don't even remember how to do my video like that anymore because it's just been a while. Um, so so yeah, but it's definitely a good time to cover that. I thought the interview, I mean, I thought he did a good job interviewing her. I really thought like he did a great job. He didn't let her get away with anything. Of course, like she dodged like the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth question. Um, but I thought he did a great job. And that's what journalism is supposed to be, where you're just being tough on the politician no matter what the ideology is. That's just what it's supposed to be. I mean, back then is like you didn't even know what the person was. That's how it's supposed to be, where you're not questioning the person who's doing the interview. You're not supposed to know how they feel about things. So I thought he did a good job. He did an amazing job. So I mean, anyways, we'll get you back into the green. I don't know. I don't know because the people that watch this channel don't lean to the ideology that I lean to now. So, for example, I mean, there's been times where like years ago, for example, when I was like a liberal or whatever, and I would make a video about something defending like the liberal host, for example, and then I was hammered by a lot of conservatives saying you need to rewatch that video, da 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 da. So there's been times where the algorithm does play on the opposite side and have those people watch that, but it's just been a lot of people unsubscribing, and I do think I have a bug as well on this channel. So I mean, so yeah, I mean it's okay if I have to make it. If I have to make a new one, that's fine. It's all right. Just title it and speak you are intelligent. Thank you so much. But again, unfortunately, the algorithms only target a specific people that watched my channel in the past. And there's only those rare moments where it would target conservative. Like, for example, if I make a video about that Brett Baer and Kamala Harris interview, I'm going to say, I thought he did a great job, for example, right? And people that see that are going to be people who watch like liberal YouTube creators, liberal shows. And so they're not going to like what I say. And so they're not going to subscribe. And then people who are subscribed already, they're going to unsubscribe. Like, I'm still losing subscribers and I haven't even been making videos. That's just how crazy it is. So YouTube is really confusing, and I don't know how to spin it. I mean, I watched this one girl who talks about digital marketing, and her channel was popping at one point, and it came to the point where she had to make a new YouTube channel because her views were not what they were in the past. So she just made a new channel and she started completely from scratch. So I mean, do you think Kamala interview with Brett? They're not. That's not clickable. Unfortunately, today you got to make it clickable. You got to make it clickable. So that's yeah. I'm very interested in seeing where Anna Kasparian from TYT, where her career goes, because what she's going through is I mean, I'm not comparing myself with her because she has way more fans than I do. This woman has like 1 million something fans. But the epiphany that she's having is what I had 2-3 years ago, right? And so she's having this big light bulb moment where it's like, well, wait, okay, now this is a little too far. I'm sorry, like, this is too much for me. And so now it's like she just said, what, a week ago, that she's done with the left and stuff like that. So the epiphany she's having now is what I had. And subconsciously, I felt like I always had it, but it was more about me being caring for other people and socialism for other people. And so pandemic, I did a whole 180. I'm like, you know what? None of that. And so, but yeah, I'm interested to see where she goes with. I don't think she's going to lose fans. I don't think she may lose fans, but I think she's going to gain a lot of fans too. Cause number one, she's beautiful, she's attractive. And number two, a lot of conservatives, they're going to accept her. They're not going to betray her. And so here's the thing. What I've noticed is, one thing about the conservative party, let's say you've been a liberal all your life, and let's say all of a sudden you have this lipo movement. From what I gathered, they're not going to say, oh no, you're not one of us. Now, on the opposite end, if a conservative changes and wants to be on the left, it takes a little time for them to accept. It takes a lot of time for the liberals to accept that conservative or that former conservative, because they feel like they have like an ulterior motive or some vendetta or something, so it's kind of hypocritical, because one party is saying that they're very accepting of everything, diversity, and the other party is very traditional and they're not as adverse to change, but at the same time they are accepting for that person when they have that light bulb moment. Whereas on the left, it's like F you, so it's just it's very crazy. And it's very but I would click on that, but I am nosy. So it's strange how the messaging on the left is very the opposite of what they stand for, which is part of the reason why I don't associate myself with them anymore, because it's hypocritical. So I don't think she's gonna lose fans. I really don't. I think she's gonna gain more fans. And she's been doing it for a very long time, to the point where, I mean, she could be like a Candace Owens. She can start her own channel and get a lot of followers. So, but yeah, who do you like? What did you think about that interview? Do you still make videos? You still make videos? So yeah, same stuff. You have to rebrand. Did a rebrand work? It's interesting because when first of all, I didn't technically, I guess I can say I rebrand, because this channel started as what it is now, like talking about hot topics. Then it was weight loss. After weight loss, I did like music reactions, and then I went back to like hot topics once I started experimenting with editing and just found like not the formula, but basically how to like make videos and stuff like that in a way to where people can watch and not click off and stuff. So it's just been all over the place. I do cooking videos. Okay. Less drama. Yeah, I see. I mean, that's the thing. I don't like drama. So I don't understand how people can talk about other people on the same platform. It's like, to me, it's like that's just making bad energy for yourself. And one thing I don't like about social media is a lot of people just gets to their head as if there's some talent, right? For example, it's like one of my big pet peeves is when people on like Instagram or on YouTube, when they say I'm in season 2 of my show. I'm like, no, you're not. No executive gave you the green light for this show to be season 2. You're not getting advertisers sponsoring your show, or you're not getting the ratings that you're getting. Your show can go on whether you have 0 views or 1,000 views. Now, on television or radio, you have to have a certain amount of views in order to go into that season 2. So that's one of my pet peeves when people do that on YouTube or on Instagram. It's like, I'm in season 2 of my talk show. I'm like, first of all, it's not a talk show. It's a YouTube show. And secondly, you don't need to be corny and say every damn semester or whatever that it's a new season, because again, you're not having a manager that's above you that sign your checks telling you that you did a good job at ratings and you get to move forward with a contract renewal, because that's what that means. So yeah, I that's one of my pet peeves. And a lot of people do it. And I know a lot of them, they have a good heart when they do it, but it's just, I just don't get it. Maybe they don't understand TV or how that works or whatever. But that's what I wanted to do originally. I wanted to get into radio. I wanted to get into television. That I wanted to do like traditional media. That was always my thing, and it was my dream and everything. And it just like killed me. It's like my identity. It's like the pandemic opened my eyes. I'm like, okay, what I thought this was is not what it is. And so I think it worked out the way it worked out because God was like, no, you're not going to go through this route. I'm going to take you somewhere else. So now the radio is dead. TV is practically dead. It's like even these big stars, they can't get the salary that they used to get because a lot of people are not buying into TV through commercialized ads. They're also not watching television like they used to. And so this is why like Hoda Kotb is like, she was making what, 20 million a year, I heard. And so she left TV, not because she wanted to start a new chapter. It's because they cut her salary. That's why. And her salary is not going to be the only one that's going to cut. They're going to cut a lot of people's salaries because people are not watching TV like they used to. What about OnlyFans? You're funny. I remember you, Pariah, when you lied and said that Jennifer Lopez watched one of my videos and that you're in a movie with her and it's coming out in August, which was like 2 months ago, but this was August, which is past, but you were telling me this maybe about 6-7 months ago. And you said she wants an interview with Oprah before she would consider a YouTuber. I actually kind of believed you when you said that. Thank you. No, I don't forget. I remember. And I kind of felt like I kind of believed you during that time too. That was on Twitter. How did you know that? Tosh, how did you know? Oh, you've been watching me too, I see. No, you weren't. You weren't telling the truth. I mean, I would not be surprised if she saw my video, but at the same time, I'm like, this person's probably lying, you know. Okay, so if you're telling the truth, what movie is out that you're in so I could actually watch it? I mean, I don't even entertain movies. Once I found out that a lot of actually all Hollywood movies have to be approved by the Pentagon, by the federal government in order for it to be played. So when I read into that, I'm like, okay, I can't Hollywood. I'm not as enamored with Hollywood like I used to be when I was a child. But I would watch this movie since you're in it. I would if it's still in the theaters, I would go watch it. It was pushed back. Okay. Oh, that's what they say. It was pushed back. I've been watching you forever. No, but I mean, the people who I've spoken to when I did weight loss, I've lost touch with a lot of them. And so, you know, did I make a video about Ice Cube responding? I think I did. Yeah, I did make a video. He called me Greek on Twitter because a lot of people thought I was black, right? When I wasn't showing my face, not because I was hiding my face, because I didn't have, again, I didn't have a camera, I didn't even have a good phone, I have none of that. So I was just doing voiceovers for some time, and a lot of people thought I was black simply because of my voice and everything. And I used to speak slang and stuff like that. And even the griot actually used one of my videos, and I didn't really care, but they used one of my, without telling me. They had some, I'm not gonna call him a journalist, but basically a person that writes articles for a griot. They used one of my videos and everything. And again, I wasn't showing my face, so I'm sure they thought I was African American. And so I'm sure Ice Cube thought I was African American, but that video that you're talking about him commenting on it, was the first video that I used to show my face with doing like hot topics. And so when he saw that, he said something to the effect of, I don't know, something about don't believe people that look Greek but are black, but that sound black in disguise or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's something like that. And so I just replied to the tweet. I'm like, well, you could have subtweeted me, and I'm not Greek if you could read my profile. But anyways, um, I know I'm not black. I said a lot of people thought I was black based off of my voice. But I like Ice Cube. He actually has been hammered by the black community. And in that video, I was defending him. I was defending him against Chris Cuomo, dumbass, and against people that were bashing him. I defended him. So I was surprised. And I knew he was talking about me because when I searched that video on YouTube, it was on the #1 page on YouTube. It was on the #1 page when it came to that topic. And so, and I'm sure, I don't know if I added him, because a lot of times when I do a video, I would share it on Twitter. And so maybe I added him, maybe I did, I don't remember, but I do remember that video, like it got traction. So yeah. You're not black. Fun fact, the DoD has a Hollywood budget. Also, the DoD has never been audited like everybody way. You look really good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I look good, but I don't feel good. But thank you. I thought you was. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people thought I was black because I was just doing B-roll, maybe just showing pictures. Well, pictures, I don't think pictures is not B-roll. B-roll is like what they say in news. B-roll would be like if I'm talking over video. So I was just showing like pictures. I don't think I was doing videos. No, I was doing videos. I was. So it was just videos, like B-roll, and then pictures and my voice. So a lot of people. I mean, if the griot, who is owned by NBC at the time, now it's owned by Allen Media. Byron Allen, he owns like a media company called Allen Media Broadcasting. At that time, the griot was affiliated with NBC. Like NBC owned it. So, and I know they have like a streaming show with, I don't know if she's still on there. What's her name? The chick that was on reality TV, that's a former attorney. I forgot her name. The black girl that said she won't date a bus driver. Her. Anyways, y'all help me in the comments. But they used one of my videos. And how I found out was when I looked at the analytics, it told me the griot used one of my videos. I clicked on it. I'm like, where is this coming from? Not only the griot, but also Newsbreak. Now, Newsbreak is not a black publication. They just used one of my videos. And, some other sites too. So when I saw Newsbreak, I'm like, wow, interesting. And the griot, I'm like, okay. Now, they never reached out to me and asked me if they could use it in their content, which technically they're supposed to. But I'm like, okay, free advertising. I'm African and I don't do race. I'm human. Someone at my job today, I'm new to this job that I'm working with. I don't want to work there anymore, but I hate it. And of course, it's always like, and I hate this word, a minority or a person of color that asks you about your race. So she asked me, and I don't really like the girl because I know she's been talking behind my back. So I told her I'm human. For some reason, she thought I said I'm Cuban. I said, no, I'm human. And she was like, well, we're human too. what's your ethnicity? I was like, we're mixed with everything. That's a social construct. And she was like, why are you so passive aggressive? And the reason why I don't talk about my race no more, because it doesn't matter. And number two, the retail job, I just left it on Friday. I put them on 2 weeks. They don't deserve a 2-week notice, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to be professional. How I get the jobs, how I leave the job. This girl who's from like Venezuela, who's not even an American citizen, by the way, who's only been in America for 6 years. She saw my name. She asked me what my race was. And I was like, oh, it could be French or whatever. And then so that right there, when you automatically tell someone that's a minority or a black person that I'm like, okay, he's Caucasian. So the moment you say something that's the opposite of what their political ideology is, automatically you're a racist, right? And so what I don't like about this DEI bullshit is a lot of people use it to smear someone's name. It happened to Ozzy Osbourne's wife on The Talk. It happened to Megyn Kelly. And it happens to regular, normal people. There's one guy who worked in a hospital. He's a white executive. He sued the hospital. He took it to the Supreme Court because he lost his job because he did not fit the DEI concept of that job. So he sued and he won that case. And so I just don't like when people ask me about race because that's not how I look at things. And that's not what I care for. And then I'm at my job. I'm here to make money and go home. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to ask you out for coffee. I'm here to be cordial with you. Anything we talk about has to be job related. That's it. That's how I operate from now on. And some people don't like that. Oh, well. I don't know where I'm going next. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going next. That's the question. That's the question. So I may try to make another content on here just to see how it goes. YouTube did recommend me some guy's channel. He had like 60,000 subscribers, but he did a video on the Kamala Harris interview with Fox News, and he got a lot of views. But again, his channel is conservative, so I mean, I'm sure a lot of people subscribe and everything. So, and here's the thing. I don't care where you are. I don't care what your views are. I only care when you don't think for yourself, and then when you have an issue with people thinking differently than you. It's so crazy nowadays that people won't be your friend if you support Trump or if you're a conservative. People won't date you if you're a conservative or if you're a Republican or if you support Trump. That is crazy to me. That's just crazy and unheard of. I don't make money on here. I just said that. You came in late. I used to. And I didn't do this to make money. I did this so I can make a brand. I always wanted to be like on the radio or like doing like TV work. I didn't do YouTube to make money. I did it to get my name, my brand out there. And it so happened that I made money. I didn't make money on this channel until a year and a half later. And even when I went viral, the first time I went viral was during the times where I was really, and you can go back to the archives, I was living in my car and I went viral on a couple videos. And someone told me once before, they're like, you need to monetize your channel. I'm like, oh, no, I didn't really listen to that person until the point where I got like 2 viral videos when I lost all that weight. And then when I decided to monetize it after it got over 100,000 views, that's when YouTube like froze that video. Like, why are you guys freezing this video for? They're like, oh, because you're getting a lot of spam. I'm like, no, I'm not getting a lot of spam. I posted the video in September. It went viral in January. Why? What do people like to do in January? Weight loss resolutions, right? So of course it's going to go viral. It went viral in January. It took October, November, December. It took 4 months to go viral, And so YouTube thought it was spam. I'm like, no, it's not spam. It's called having a New Year's resolution, and it's called people searching for weight loss, and it's called me being successful after 6 months of losing 80 pounds, which is a literal definition of success with my weight loss and a literal like reflection of my channel being successful, because I've been documenting my weight loss for 6 months, not for views, but after 6 months I lost this weight, and now it's also being a success and reflection with this channel. And they thought it was spam. I'm like, no, it's not spam. So they ended up freezing it, and it got like over like 400,000 views. So, you know, and I didn't really get the proper monetization from it because they froze it. Dumb bitches. Yeah, you go way back in the archives. I've been on this channel since like 2016. I made this channel two months before I graduated college because nobody wanted to hire me in the radio. So I was like, I need to make something. I need to make a YouTube channel. And I've had many YouTube channels. I had a YouTube channel before this. I started YouTube in like 2009. This is when people were scared to make videos. Like literally people were like scared to even announce that they made videos. Like I've had probably 2 other channels before this channel. But I deleted them once my family found out. You see what I mean? When they saw that I made videos, they don't even know about this channel. But when they saw I made videos and then it got all over the place to people that I don't fuck with family, I deleted it. But I only had like 500,000. I mean, excuse me, not thousand. I wish 500 subscribers on one of the channels that I deleted. I don't do TikTok. TikTok, you can't make money off of TikTok like you do YouTube. Uh, I don't have TikTok. Yeah, I made videos in my car. A job should be based on your exactly is exact. It should be based on your performance and everything. But here's the thing: when I left that job, I said if I would have, and not if, full stop, knowingly coming into that job, had I told them what I was, I would not be facing the bullshit that I was facing. You know, I can do a whole story time about the situation. I loved your car. Yeah, a lot of people. Now, I can get money this month if I make $100. I'm at like $41 and it's been drastically increasing within like a year, like $2 every month, $2 every month, $2 every month. So I could use that $100. So if anybody want to give me something, super chats, you know, YouTube take like 30%, I believe. It's been so long since I made a video. I don't even remember how much percentage they take. I think it's 30% of your super chat money. So, I mean, hell, if you could send it to me on my Cash app, it's the JOA official, and you're gonna know it's me because my picture's right there. It's on there. It's the JOA official. My birthday's coming up, so I'm gonna be like black people and ask for money on my birthday. Put the little ribbon. That'll be my ribbon. Cash app. But yeah, the JOA official. If you want to, because we don't get that. Tosh, do you get super chats? I think it's 30%. I believe they take 30% from you. But yeah, you know, I could have been fake. Here's the thing. I could have been fake. Like a lot of people, not just YouTubers, just like people in general on creating content on TV, especially on TV, radio, YouTube, whatever. I could have been fake and been the person and faked it all and still kept the same commentary, you know, and stuff like that. But that's not me. I have to be honest and like, you know what? I don't believe what I used to believe. I just don't. And I'm telling you, a lot of people on TV, they do this all the time. I'm telling you, they are chameleons. A lot of them, they just do it for a paycheck. And I just can't consciously, I can't do that because that's just not how I'm wired. And it makes me feel bad. I would not do that for a paycheck. They do. That's why a lot of YouTubers, they ask for PayPal. If you could send them by PayPal or I don't know, some other platform, Venmo, whatever, or Cash App, because YouTube takes like 30 or I think it's 30%. And then even Patreon takes like, depending on when you made your Patreon account, but I think they take like 50%, I believe. Or maybe, I don't remember, it's been a long time. 25%. So, girl, hi, GQG. Exhibit A, everybody, GQG. Oh, GQG actually made me remember something. That is other person that used to comment on my channel a lot. They said his apartment is sparse. Well, first of all, I want it to be sparse because I'm a minimalist. I don't want a lot of things in my apartment. I just want what I need, right? And so, yes, it is sparse. I don't like hanging shit on the wall. I don't even know how to hang shit on the wall. And I don't want things that I don't need. It's just too much. Like when I move out, I don't want to get a U-Haul. I just want to pick up my clothes, which I don't have many, and get the fuck out of here. So it's like his channel is sparse. So I clicked on her page, and then so I went after her. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's a bad build based off the video she watched how to lose weight and everything. And then she decided to private her playlist when I wrote that. I don't see her on my page anymore. I forgot I don't even remember her name. If I see it, I'll remember. So, but yeah. So people just say the most outlandish things, and it really don't get to me. Like it really doesn't. Not often. It really doesn't. But I don't. I don't. It just depends on the situation, I guess. Like if you get me in a bad moment or I'm having a bad day, and Tosh, I'm sure you can relate to this. You get comments on your home screen on your phone. You just see some comment where somebody just saying some outlandish thing about you, and it just pops up like a text message. That's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to say something. But if it's something where you can disable that and it's just comments just flowing in, and you just okay, whatever, you scrolling, you really don't give a damn, whatever, whatever. That's a different story. But I used to get them on my home screen like it's a text message, and if I'm having a bad day and I see something where people saying something that's not true or misconstruing what I'm saying, then yeah, that's when I reply. Yeah, it gets to the point where you just numb to it. You get numb to it. I mean, even in the beginning, I really didn't care for it much. But there's been times where like I even made videos about it. Like I would come on live and I would address it. Um, yeah. So, but now it's just like it is what it is. Yeah, but I just couldn't be fake. Like I'm telling you, I remember that show that Fox Soul, now it's canceled. That show TGI. Like I could have possibly been on that show had I faked the funk in, because that's basically like a black audience, although it's owned by Rupert Murdoch and everything, like Republicans, Australian guy, whatever. I could have possibly been a contender on that, whatever. But it's just like I couldn't. I mean, it's not like I was chosen or asked to do it, but I was in touch with one of them. And even one of the producers used to watch my show, and they blocked me once again when I said Obama had a BET party during the pandemic on his 60th birthday. Nobody was wearing masks, but yet liberals are being pissed off when they see like a conservative walking into a grocery store without a mask. And so I remember that day when I said the BET party, like 400 people commented, and it was like full of black people. They're like, "It's the BET party for me," and a lot of people unsubscribed. And it's a lot of the comments. I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. So maybe YouTube just I don't know. Maybe YouTube just pushed that video out even more, and like 300 people unsubscribed that day. So it's like, I mean, I used to flash. Yeah, I used to do that, and it made me look crazy. It's better to just get your point out and dip out. So, I mean, and it's not just that. It's also with traditional news. Like traditional news, I'm telling you, I lost opportunities because a lot of these news directors, when you go through interviews, and this is out of line for them to do, and you don't have to answer, but a lot of them, they want to know your opinion and how you feel about things, right? And so they would try to tell you about stories about past talent on air or whatever, what they used to do to see what you would say and stuff like that. And I know what the fuck they were doing, but I'm gonna be authentic and just simply tell them respectfully like how I see it. But they would ask you like things or wonder about things just to climb where we're in now. Like one woman was telling me about how someone on TV did not want to talk about the CDC and what they're doing with the vaccines, and they didn't want to report that. And so my thing was, I'm like, well, it's their job to report what the CDC says. Now, if they feel a ways with that privately, they can feel that way. And so she liked the first part, but the second part, she didn't like that. And when I tell you, this lady was telling me where I can get an apartment, and this is out of state, telling me XYZ what to do. But the moment I said that, it goes, oh, well, actually, we're looking at other candidates as well. And if we feel you're fit, that bullshit jargon that they give you, we'll give you a call or an email. So a lot of them, 98% of media is liberal, And this is, by the way, this is local news. So if I'm just pulling local news out of spot, I would say like 90% is liberal, So they would try to test you to see like what you would say. And I'm telling you, this girl, she was about to hire me, and I'm not this. And by the way, they don't get paid that much, so this ain't no fancy job. But again, it's you got to start from scratch. So I lost opportunities because of that, and then the whole fake ass shot and everything. Yeah. So I'm happy TV's dying. Thank you, God. That's karma. And I'm just waiting Trump to destroy it completely. That's why I want him to be reelected. I don't know why he stopped saying fake news. I think he needs to keep saying that. So that's part of the reason why I feel like TV um, is in its dismissal, because partly because of him, and then of course the other part is because of social media. So yeah, but I did not expect Brett Baer to go in like that with Kamala Harris. And I'm sure she didn't either. Because I know she watches The View and all these other channels where it's like, why don't you go on Brett when Joy Behar told Tulsi Gabbard, why won't you go on Brett Baer or Chris Wallace, who are in the middle of the road? So I'm sure Kamala Harris thought, okay, he's like a centrist. He's in the middle of the road. He's not going to be a little bit biased or whatever. And to me, he wasn't really biased. The one thing I would say about him was when he showed that clip about Trump addressing I forgot what the question was, what the comment was about him asking Brett Barrett asking Kamala Harris something, and she sort of not answering it, and then she showed a clip where Trump was asked the same question. I wish she would have showed the full clip, of the journalist or the whatever the host asking Trump that question, as opposed to just playing a small little clip of it. Just because she won't say that's not the clip, because she suggested that's not what you're showing. So that's the only criticism I had. And then I understand she's a long-winded person and she dodges the question. So I get why he was cutting her off, because she would not answer the question. And there's only so much time where you can interview somebody for a spot on television. So I get it, but the cutting off was a problem. But at the same time, she wasn't answering the question. So if you're not going to answer the question, then okay, all hands on deck. He can cut her off and ask her again, because again, she was not given the same type of treatment that Trump was given when they had that debate. She had it easy. I'm telling you. They kept fact checking him. If you want to fact check, that's fine. But you need, as journalists, you need to fact check both politicians. In my view, don't fact check any of them. Let those two fact check each other. That's why it's called a debate, right? When you're having a debate, the two people or the parties who are debating, they're supposed to say, no, you're wrong, this is what happened. Or they're supposed to make a point. Moderators should not get into the mix. Just ask questions and just tell them when their time is up. That's it. So, all right, Tosh, I see you now on a plantation. Thank God. I knew I liked you. I'm joking, but not really. So she did not answer the first question. The first question was, were Americans better off 4 years ago than they are now? And she dodged it. Now, Trump should have used that against her, and that would have destroyed her. Just like how Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her in 2020 with her record, Trump should have used that scenario right there where she literally made a fool of herself and called out the so-called journalist who didn't reiterate the question or asked her the question again like they kept doing to Trump. He could have used that. But again, Trump is not the best speaker. He's not the best speaker. And he's not like quick with the comebacks like that, So had he got her with that, that's it. Like, game over. Like, she can't even answer the first question, because we're not better off now than we were 4 years ago. So how do you expect this woman to be the president of the world when she cannot even be honest with the first question? That's not who you want as a president. That's not who you want as a leader. She's already lying to you. So he should have said something like that. Well, during that situation, it was only one. That's it. It wasn't both. And I already foreshadowed that, because I was telling somebody, I'm like, Lindsay Davis, I know what she leans. And of course, David Muir, it's obvious too. So I didn't expect it to be neutral. And then again, I found out that the person who's running ABC actually linked Kamala Harris and her now husband on their first date, right? So that's a huge conflict of interest. A huge conflict of interest. It's like, and so without a shadow of a doubt, I'm sure she was given those questions. I'm sure somebody And I heard there was a whistleblower that came forward. I didn't read the affidavit, but I heard about it. It was very clear that she was given those questions. Just like how Roland Martin allegedly gave Donna Brazile questions for her debate. And I guess that's the reason why CNN fired him, allegedly. He got fired from CNN. I'm sure somebody from the ABC camp gave her the questions because she was too robotic. Too robotic. And there is a difference. If you watch her other interviews, even Oprah was looking at her crazy, you know, when she was interviewing her. So yeah, I mean, I don't, here's the thing. Like, y'all think because somebody preferred Trump over this person that a lot of people feel who are on the other side, they feel like, oh, they can't say what they disagree about Trump, or, you know, they're in a cult, or they agree. I don't agree with about everything. I just feel personally that he would be the better option out of the two. That's how I feel. Now, do I feel like he's going to deport every single illegal immigrant here in America? No, I don't. Because I still don't know, or they still haven't said from my knowledge, especially when one reporter asked, he's not, Jonathan Karl, he's not a reporter, you know, the opinion host, he calls himself a journalist, but he's not. From ABC, he asked J.D. Vance, how are they going to deport illegals in America? And he was like, we'll just start with 1 million and then we'll go from there. Well, how are you going to deport 1 million? Are you going to go to home? You can start by my place. You can come over here. Just don't knock on my door. You can come over here, you know. But I mean, you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, but you can come over here. It's not that hard to find. It's very easy. Thank you. I appreciate it. One thing I didn't like is I need to know how you're going to do it. Don't just tell me you're going to do it. I need to know how. Now, it's not that hard to find people who are not undocumented. There's a lot. I can point them out just like that. It's very easy. They're my neighbors. They're at Lowe's. They're at Home Depot looking for jobs, like sitting in the grass, hanging out there. They're at the parks, you know. It's not that hard. So, but it's just like, what are you going to do? You're just going to ask people for their documentation. If they don't have it, you're going to arrest them. Like, you're going to have what? I don't know. Police officers or National Guard to arrest them. Like, they're not saying how they're going to do it. So, I mean, so yeah. And that's fine. If you want Kamala, that's fine. And here's the thing. So when someone tells me they want Kamala Harris, and when I ask them why, a lot of them are like, well, I just don't like Trump. Okay, well, that's not a reason. Since I just don't like Trump, I'm like, okay, well, what do you like about Kamala Harris? And again, they never give me a reason. Like, here's the thing. I don't talk politics at work. In the past, I used to be very unfiltered. The job that I just quit on last Friday, put in my 2 weeks, ended on Friday. I just felt so bad for this person internally. This 68-year-old Black coworker, she told me, she's like, why do you always question stuff? What am I supposed to be, a puppet? Am I supposed to question? This is why I want to be in journalism. This is why I want to be a journalist, because I ask questions. There's always a why. There's always a reason as to why something is. And so that's the problem. When you're not inquisitive, when you're not curious, when you don't question stuff and you just accept things as they are. That's the problem. Like, what are you, 5? And so, perfect example. So, did you watch? Yeah, I saw that debate. I'm like, did you watch? Like, I turned it off as soon as I saw Trump's face. I don't like him. Can't explain why she doesn't like him. Says she doesn't like him. He's a racist. That's how most of them, they think. Whatever. So I'm like, well, I'm hoping she doesn't win or he doesn't win. It's like, why? You don't want a woman to be president? Of course, feminists, that's what they say when they're not educated. I'm like, well, no, it's not because I don't want a woman to be president. I don't have full faith in this woman handling the president of Iran. I don't have full faith of this woman in handling someone like Bashar al-Assad from Syria, or, you know, Putin from Russia, or Kim Jong-un. Like, foreign policy-wise, she cannot handle these people who think differently from us. That's just my one reason, amongst many, as to why I don't have full faith in this woman. She's not a leader, you know. So when you're talking to people from different countries who lead those countries and they have a different lifestyle than us as Americans, I need to have full faith that this person who's representing me as an American can make shit happen and can make sure those people over there won't even dare do some stupid type of shit. And she's not, I don't have faith in her as that. It's not because she's a woman. Condoleezza Rice ran. I would probably consider her over Kamala Harris. Now, I didn't agree with Condoleezza Rice with how she did with Iraq and her foreign policy, but I would say foreign policy wise, she has way more experience than Kamala Harris does. So that's just one reason as to why. You know, of course, second reason is immigration and abortion and, you know, saying $25,000 for first time homeowners. That's taxpayer money. I'm not sure how economists had told her that her plan is like the best plan in the world. Who are these economists? Liberals? Like, anyways. Now, here's the thing. With JD Vance, I've always said that was a bad pick. But from the stuff I have seen, he's grown on me because I know he's a junior staffer and everything. I know a lot of people didn't know who he was. I knew who he was about 2 years ago. I saw an interview with him with Jonathan Stewart. And Jonathan Stewart asked him a specific question, and I didn't like the way JD Vance answered it because it wasn't really a good answer. And so when I heard that Trump picked him, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really feeling him. He kind of reminds me of like, you know, a DeSantis with no personality. But as a VP, you're not really supposed to have a personality, in my opinion. You're not really supposed to overshadow the president. My hope was that Trump would have chosen Tulsi Gabbard. See, I'm okay with a woman. I don't care what gender you are. I don't look at gender. I look at what you represent. I wanted Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy, or even like a DeSantis as a VP. You know, so when he said JD Vance, I'm like, I didn't expect Trump to pick somebody with a lot of followers and a lot of, you know, eyeballs on the VP. I expected him to pick somebody who wasn't as popular. So of course he's not gonna. I mean, not a lot of people know who Tulsi Gabbard is, but she's pretty popular. So I mean, he could have chosen her or a Vivek Ramaswamy. Not a lot of people know who he is. He's popular, but not like Trump popular. So, but JD Vance, I think he's. I mean, you know, I think he's pretty good. I didn't watch the JD Vance Tim Walz debate though. I didn't watch that one yet. Yeah. See, I'd rather have. Okay, but they didn't say how. Like, I need to know the strategy as to how they're going to go after them. I'd rather have someone I don't like than get the job done versus having someone. So who do you like? You never explained. You said you like Vivek. That was my pick for president, actually, not Trump. Vivek was. And at first I was stereotyping him. I'm like, okay, I need to know what his allegiance is to India. I know he's an American. I get it, but a lot of second generation or first generation. I call it first generation because if you're not born in America, to me, you're not an American. I know government standards say if you're a citizen, you're American. I disagree with that. So to me, in my book, he's first generation. So, but again, by definition, by government standards, liberal definition, it's like you're an American if you're born overseas and you came here, you're a citizen. I disagree with that, but whatever. So I'll call him second generation on the behalf of what government says. Which is odd because I don't agree with government at all. But second or first generation American, you still have close ties to the country where your parents come from. You know, so I needed to know what his allegiance was to India and is India going to be of any consideration had he become president. I don't need you sending money over there. You know, there was one governor who's running for president in 2016. He didn't get that far. He was governor of Louisiana, Bobby Jindal. There were rumors that he was funding India. And he's a Republican. And I didn't agree what he did to Louisiana. He defunded the education system. He defunded the film industry. A lot of people who were professors in schools, they were laid off because of him. And if you scored a 21 or above on the ACT, a 36, which is the perfect score on the ACT, you are not given a full scholarship because, again, he took money out of that. And so it's not fair for someone who's smart or who studied hard, who practiced hard for the ACT to score really well and not get their full tops. That's just not cool. That's not okay. It's not like you're asking for free money. You've earned that. That's your right to have that. And so I didn't like that he did that. So when he ran for president in 2016, he didn't get that far. Like a lot of people know who he is, and now he's like not in politics anymore. I think he's like a writer or whatever. He's a smart guy. He went to Harvard, but I just didn't like what he did, and he's a Republican. So, um, that was my thought. Where Vivek Ramaswamy, like, okay, what is your allegiance to India? Because again, your parents were born there. I know you were born in Ohio, but I just need to know how you feel about things. So when Ann Coulter, when she told him, she's like, oh, well done monologue. I agree with everything you said. You know, I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. However, I would not vote for you because you're an Indian. So he laughed at the black part, but then when she said he's an Indian, his face changed to a frown. And a lot of people called her racist. I don't think that's a racist thing to say. She won't vote for him because she's an Indian. I would rather someone tell me how they feel. That's not racist to me. And of course, the progressives and all, they're going to call it racist. That's not a racist statement. That's not. I don't see that as being racist. I see that as a woman who is like Anglo-Saxon Protestant, who's looking at historical reference of seeing who has been the past leaders and what it has been purely in America, even including Obama, because he's 10th cousins to George W. Bush, and what it was. It's just what it is, what America is, and why America is the way it is due to people who conquered it during that time and is still and who are still running as leaders. So I don't see that as racism. It's the definition of being a nationalist. That's how I see it. It's nationalist. And she's a nationalist. She's not a racist woman. I don't think she's a racist woman. So when I was like, oh, here comes their racist stuff. They're going to call her racist and everything. No, she's just a nationalist. And I'm going to be honest with you. I verge on nationalism as well, because my version of immigration is way more radical than Trump is. What I say is you need to build a wall from all the way from California to Florida, California all the way up to Michigan, Michigan all the way up to Maryland, all the way down to the right side to Florida. You put high voltage electricity around the perimeters of that border. You touch that shit, you're dead. And I'm pro-life all the way. However, my first consideration is for Americans, and the fact that a lot of people, a lot of liberals are not talking about stories of children who are dying from fentanyl that's coming out of Mexico, through China, from Mexico to America, who are selling this stuff on social media, who are distributing this stuff in school, adults, and it's just not kids. And the fact that they're only seeing it from one angle and not seeing it from an angle of protecting our people first, I have an issue with that. And so they want to call it xenophobia and create all these fake ass words that don't even exist. A phobia means you're scared of these people. We're not scared of them. It's called security. And this is war. So that's nationalism. Protect our people first. That's it. You know? And so I'm willing to fund that. I'm willing to pay for it, you know? So, and Trump is not seeing it that way. And I'm like, well, Ann Coulter said she saw him his book called Adios. She saw him her book. It's called Adios America. And she's like, well, maybe he forgot about it, because she was like, we need to halt the immigration system for like, I think she said 2 to 3 years. I agree with that. We need to stop immigration completely, legally. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is the new world we live in, illegally as well, you know, where illegal is seen as legal now. All the way across the board, because we're getting a lot of quantity, we're not getting quality. I talked to a girl at Walmart the other day. I said, don't take this the wrong way, but what visa? She worked at Walmart. I was like, oh, I came on a parole visa. I'm like, what's that? She's like, I came here a year ago, you know? And so in my mind, it's like, I didn't want her to be here, but of course I'm not, you know, that wasn't our conversation. She was trying to help me out with something, but it's like, we're getting so many people from different countries that can't even speak English, and we're not getting quality people like we used to get in like the 60s and the 70s. And so the system is so fucked up that we just need to do better and just figure out a ways as to make it better in order for the quality people to come here. But it needs to stop for 2 to 3 years. Because, I mean, a lot of people are coming here on different visas. Like, a lot of people. I'm not sure if you see it in your state, but I could feel it in mine. It hurts my soul to hear the moms speak about how their kids were unalive due to the uptick in migrant crime. Yeah, I mean, someone told me the other day, a place I used to work for. I didn't know this person, that an illegal immigrant literally ran him over, and his coworker passed away. I was in the grocery store. This is like early this year. There was a woman, not in front of me, but there was one woman in front of me and then someone else in front of me. This woman started crying, and then the person in front of me was like, "What's going on?" And I even chimed in. I'm like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "My daughter just got ran over, and it was a hit and run. The person did not have insurance." You know what I said? "I bet you they're illegal." You know, she's like, "They didn't have insurance, they have a license." I'm like, "More than likely they're from Latin America. More than likely, I bet you any money." So it's like, not your car legally, don't have a license, don't have insurance, you're here illegally. That's 4 strikes on your back right there. And it's like, and this happens a lot. It happens more than you think, you know. So, and this is like the second story I heard. Well, I don't know how her daughter's doing, but the other person, this was on the news because it was, the person worked for like a TV affiliate. They died, you know, because of it. So, and that's just small parts of stories. There's other parts of them stealing like people's identity and voting and stuff like that. So it's like, so no, she's not a racist. She's a nationalist, and I verge on nationalism too now. I do. I do. So when people ask me what I am, I say I'm human. If they can't, I'm an American. That's it. I don't do race. Don't ask me. You know, leave me alone. So that's so sad. That is sad. That's beyond sad. You know. And so when I remember at that time, because now they canceled her. What's her name? Damon Dash's sister. What's her name? I forgot her name. When she said there shouldn't be a Black History Month. I saw an interview of her where she said Hollywood doesn't accept her anymore because of what she said in the past, and because she's not in the mindset of what a lot of these agents or what a lot the public thinks and stuff like that. Stacey Dash, that's her name. She came to my head. And so when she said there shouldn't be a Black History Month, I agree with that. There shouldn't be no month for anybody. Now there's like a BIPOC month. What the fuck's a BIPOC? Black, Indigenous, Person of Color. There's an AAPI month, Asian American, Pacific Islander. There's like another Pride month that's in June. I'm like, well, don't they have one before June or July? You know, there's like a music month. There's a Latino month. Latino month is this month, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just like, there's other races you're missing, but I don't want no month for anything. To me, that's just division. That's just making it more divisive and division. And it's like, why do we need DEI? Why just keep upping the narrative even more to bring back racism? Like, why do we have to have it? Yeah, like Stacey Dash. Like, why do we need to have that in the workplace? And to me, it's just, and why do companies automatically think that DEI means Black and Latinos? Like the retail store I worked with, all my supervisors were Black. All of them. That's not DEI, you know? So, and so a lot of conservatives, they say did not earn it. And I agree with that. That the acronym for DEI is did not earn it. So, and here's the thing. I can always jump on the race train and use that and say I'm XYZ, but I choose not to. Any job, I choose not to disclose on applications. I don't even disclose my gender. When they ask for military, I don't disclose. It's not your business. You know, so I can always hop on the opposite train and be a chameleon and say, "Oh, I'm this and that." And, you know, I know how to speak how you guys speak. Oh, you know, my people are victims and, you know, da 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 da. So exactly, Todd. People should be hired. And so the retail job that I was in is a long 7 months. Like for the first 3-4 months, they kept poaching about my race, literally. Like in an interview, they're like, "Oh, your last name, where's that from?" Or, you know, and then the coworkers, they kept asking me about my race, you know. And this job now that I've been for what, 3 weeks, a girl asked me today, she was like, you know, she's like, "What's your ethnicity?" And what she said, actually, I was surprised. Maybe she asked a friend, but considering what's in the news, you know, she sort of mentioned it, whatever. And I was like, "I'm human." You know, she's like, oh, I'm just asking because you're Latin. Da, da, da. I was like, I'm human. You know, she thought I said I'm Cuban. I was like, no, I'm human. You know, she's like, you know, I was like, race is a social construct. She's like, why you're so deep? Well, race is a social well, I didn't tell her this, but if me saying race is a social construct is so deep to you, then you just need to read a book because that wasn't even a deep statement. That just was a actual factual statement. It is a social construct. But to these people that work in these menial jobs, they don't have a brain. So of course she's not gonna. Of course she's gonna see that as deep by me saying that. Then she's like, "Why are you so passive aggressive?" So she got mad because I literally would not tell her my ethnicity. You know, and I told her, I'm like, look, respectfully, I just come here and I work and, you know, and I go home. That's it. I try to keep it professional. Then she goes, well, you texting me yesterday asking me for my hours was unprofessional. I'm like, I was told if I want to pick up shift, reaching out to people for hours would be okay. That's not unprofessional, but okay, whatever. You know, so these people are stupid. They're dumb. And by the way, these are young folks in their early 20s. So that's another reason. That should tell you like where their mindset is. Oh Lord. So what are you doing? Obnoxious. And I don't want to be that way. But with her, she talks behind my back a few times, thinking I don't know. So it's just like once I know you're fake, I don't want to deal with you. And plus, like, why does my race matter? It shouldn't matter, you know. And I know that's a common thing people ask about someone's ethnicity. People get curious and stuff like that. But it's like, so I told her I don't talk race or politics. You know what she said? She's like, I didn't ask you about politics. Is race not politics? Is that not identity politics? Again, stupidity. You know. And she was like, oh, don't mind me. You're just going to hate me. People usually hate me. And then throughout the shift, she was being respectful. She was respectful. But, you know, I think she was on her cycle because she had to use the restroom and stuff like that. But that's the second person within the 3 weeks of me being there asking about my race. Now, the other person, when I told him that, he asked me one time, I said, I'm human. And he thought I said Cuban. I was like, no, I'm human. I was like, I don't talk race. I don't talk politics. He was bothered by his face, but he walked away. And he's cool. He's a cool person, but again, black dude, you know. But it's like, that shouldn't matter. So I'm with it with, what's his name, the 28-year-old that wrote about colorblind, Coleman Hughes. I agree with him. He's really smart. They are obnoxious. Oh my God, past that. And so me being passive aggressive, which is pretty much what obnoxious is, I guess I'm being obnoxious because I refuse to acquiesce my personal life to you, and you feel like I'm being passive aggressive as if when I came out of a pussy that we were tied together and you have agency over me. That's how her reaction was, as if she have agency over my life and I should disclose that information about me to her. Isn't that crazy? How people feel like your information is their ownership. It's kind of like how people on TikTok are calling individuals who want to take care of themselves health-wise. They are literally calling people fat phobic when they want to lose weight and take care of themselves and be fit. How is that phobia? How is that being fat phobic when you're doing it for you? You're not talking about other people. First of all, even if you were saying it to other people, saying being fat is wrong, that's not fat phobia. That's just called not having type 1 or type 2 or high cholesterol or whatever. Type 1, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol. That's just health. That's just science. You guys can't pick and choose when to use science to your benefit, you know. I just want a job. At this point, I'm willing to do a remote job. I don't care how depressed I'm getting because I don't want to work with people. I don't want to work around people anymore, you know. Because I've only been with the job for 3 weeks and it's too much drama and it's just a lot of immaturity. And to tell you about this job, 98% of the employees have not been there for 4 months. That should tell you about the turnover rate and the environment of this job. 98%, which is crazy. But I needed a job, so I knew what it was walking in. But again, I needed a job to pay for bills. I used to work with a woman that would always approach me by saying, "Hey, girlfriend," it reminded me of the you better. So with me, it's like I get different stuff because my look is ambiguous. For a lot of black folks, they do think I'm white, especially because if I speak a certain way or I carry myself a certain way, a lot of them, they think I'm white. Now, if you have cultural intelligence, a lot of people, they can point out traits. Like for me, for example, if somebody across the room is just white skin, but I just look at their eyes and I see their eyes kind of look a little bit different or exotic, or if they have a certain kind of nose, I'm like, okay, that person could be from XYZ. But a lot of people, they're not culturally aware, and if someone speaks a certain way and if their skin is like mine, they're gonna just automatically think, okay, he's Caucasian. So like I at this retail job, they moved me to a different department. They lied to me. First of all, they told me they're moving me because I'm consistent, reliable. In reality, it's because again, race beta reasons, whatever. But I had literally a black woman from the back. She's the assistant in the back. She came out to me and she was like, can I ask you a question? And my mom was like, oh, Lord. But I said, sure, ask me. She's like, are you prejudiced? And I was like, no, she's like, because they said, I hate when people speak this way. They said that you're prejudiced. I didn't ask her who they is, but that's slang. And so I literally had to justify who I am as a person, DNA wise, in order to make this woman feel comfortable. She's like, oh, I'm just making sure because, if you were, I would have told the store manager because I don't want to work with someone that's prejudiced. But at the same time, she makes outlandish comments or had made outlandish comments about, and a lot of people say black people can't be racist. That's not true. That's not true. Ebonics or African American vernacular English talk. They said, and I'm sure I knew who they was. Yeah. And this is a 62-year-old woman. We're not talking about a 20-year-old. We're talking about a 62-year-old woman who has a mindset of a 15-year-old. A 15-year-old liberal. They said, and even the Hispanics in the back have told me that they think she's racist, because telling someone because they're Hispanic, well, maybe you can't read this or don't know how to read this or whatever. She made some comments, whatever. I mean, I don't just throw the R word because, again, that can ruin somebody's image and that can smear somebody's reputation very quickly. It's like it takes so long to create this great reputation, but the moment you use something like that, like the R word, that can smear somebody's name, and that's not cool. People are using it as a weaponization, and that's just not okay, So you have to know how to respond. This should be like a defense tactic, just like as a woman, you should know how to defend yourself. Or as someone that has an ambiguous look or someone who's even white, they should know how to respond with those situations because now these people have power where they can use it. And it's not cool. It's not okay. Like Sharon Osbourne, to me, how she reacted on TV, like I get it. I understand. But when she did that interview with Megyn Kelly, she said that CBS knows she's on medication, so they know she would have reacted the way she did on TV. As a woman who's been on TV for many years, I'm sure she's media trained, or she should have been media trained enough to know how to converse with two black folks on TV who publicly is asking her if she's a racist, but behind the scenes by the Daily Mail recording, they're on tape saying, we know you're not a racist, but black people are putting us on a pedestal, and so we have to ask you this question. You see how cult-like that is to say that? You can't have your own thoughts as a black person, so you're calling black people as a whole, as a monolith, that they think this way, and so we have to ask you this thing on TV to a white person on TV, And she's actually she's Jewish. You can tell by looking at her face that, she's Jewish. She's a Jewish woman. So how she handled that on TV, she should have handled it a little bit differently in terms of like for example, the other day I was at the grocery store and, this new lady, she started there and she's a little strange. Just a little off, a little strange. Because one time I was talking to one of the supervisors and he's a guy, and she literally went behind the guy. She's like, oh, hey, Mr. John. And she touched the back. She literally did this to his back and looked at me as if I'm stealing like her man or something, So I knew she was a little bit off. And so I went to the same store the other day, and 4 employees were talking about this woman. I'm like, you guys are talking about so-and-so. They said, yeah. They said, yeah, we're talking about her. And I was like, you know what? Be easy on a lady, because I know how it feels to be in a workplace where you just feel like you're not accepted or it's just too toxic, whatever, because, I've been called a racist, And then, of course, the one black person out of 3 white, there's 3 white people, 1 black. Like, well, are you a racist? And this is what I did. Well, define racism. That's what I told her. Of course, she's not going to know what the definition is. I expected her not to know it. And so she didn't have a response. And so I schooled her even more, and I told her what I told her. She's like, oh, that's very interesting. Someone told me that the other day. And then I was like, well, you could be a racist just by simply saying that white girl over there. That's a form of bias. And so when I said you know how a lot of people use the word you as a general context, but a lot of people may just say you in a conversation, and so it can also be directed to the person you're talking about. I meant it as both, actually, but more of a general interpretation, but also in terms of her, because I just know how the culture is, where they may say, "Who that white girl? That white girl?" Da, 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 da. Well, I'm sorry, that's a form of bias, and that's a form of prejudice right there. So if Sharon Osbourne would have did something like that on TV, as opposed to just like getting a little bit out of hand on television, which she had every right to, by the way, because they set her up. I think either way, it's just a bad conversation to have on TV. Either way, whatever happened, it's just they wouldn't have went back to a rightful place no matter what. But in a normal situation for regular people who are not on TV, it's like you just have to learn how to deflect and put it back on them with a question, which exactly I did to the girl. Well, define racism. She couldn't define it. Because the moment you ask someone if they're racist, I already know your IQ is low. Because if someone says something of intellectual value and you see it as racism, that's your response. The moment you use the R word, that's the moment where it's like you have no rebuttal. And so by me asking you an actual question, I'm not expecting an educational answer from, and I was right. So you just have to know how to converse with people that think that way. That's all. So, but it can smear people's name. It can definitely, and it's not just Sharon Osbourne. Megyn Kelly happened to her. And they talked about that at work. The same lady, I was like, they said, she's like, yeah, old girl Megyn Kelly got mad at Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris ain't losing. And she was like, Taylor Swift ain't losing nothing. She can endorse, and of course she's happy that she endorsed Kamala Harris. And she was like, this other black girl was like, who's Megyn Kelly? And she was like, oh, that woman on TV that said the N word. And I wanted to chime in so bad. I'm like, you know what? I don't like this workplace, and I've been in enough trouble. She didn't say the N word. This is how you know they don't do their research. She said that wearing blackface during Halloween back in the day was considered normal and okay. That's what she said. She didn't say the N word, But anyways. And so to me, actually not to me, this is an example of weaponization of the R word. NBC did not kick her off her show because of that. They made it seem that way, again, because they're using racism as a PR reason to smear a PR case to smear someone's name. And it works. It's really highly effective. The real reason why she lost her show was because her ratings were not as good as the show she replaced. The show she replaced was with Tamron Hall and Al Roker. So they gave her a $69 million 3-year contract to get Tamron Hall fired from NBC and Al Roker to go back to Weather. And she was not making the ROI that NBC thought she would have made when she was popular after her whole situation with Donald Trump attacking her for many years and her being as popular because of him. That's the real reason why they got rid of her. It wasn't because of race, but they used race as a reason, especially when that same network has been accused of racism by Gabrielle Union. When she was a judge on America's Got Talent, I believe, she was on a judge on NBC for America's Got Talent. I believe that was the show she was on. And she left because she said, racial reasons. So it's like, how can you be a network being accused of racism, but at the same time saying you're going to get rid of one of your talents because of racism? That's not the real reason. That's just a way to get rid of somebody. It's business. That's what it is. It's kind of like DEI. DEI is a business model. Just because a business has diversity, equity, inclusion, that doesn't make them liberal, or that doesn't make them woke, as black people call it. The real reason why they do it is because of money. It's a business model. For example, Disney. Disney does it, right? They're LGBT, here in America, but Disney also does business with the Middle East. The UAE bans shows that talks about the LGBTQIA community. They don't allow that. It's against the law. But Disney still does business with them. But in America, they're positioned as this diversity thing. So again, they're not doing it because they care or they're for the cause. They're doing it because it's because of capitalism. That's the real reason. It's kind of like Rupert Murdoch, right? I'm sure Rupert Murdoch is not inquisitive and educational about the black community, but he was smart enough to make a show digitally that represents a black audience. That's capitalism. That's the same thing. So people don't realize that, and they don't think critically. And this is why I tell people you have to think for yourself. Whew. Tosh, throw me in some money. About DI. I mean, I personally feel like Taylor Swift is not the true representation of what she is politically. I don't feel that way. I don't, and I know Tennessee, it's a little like moderate, whatever, but I just think that she's just like what I just said about Disney and about NBC. She's doing what's best for her money. That's all. And some people can do that. I can't do that. I can't. Like I said before, I could have lied on here. And actually, the person is gone from that show. But I've had other videos not talking about like Megan. I talked about other stuff where my videos went viral. So maybe this does have some weight to it. But I mean, had I not changed my views and thoughts, had I kept the same, like my subscribers would have grown. Because I didn't just talk about politics, I talked about pop culture too. So my subscribers would have grown. Like Wendy Williams is still going through stuff. Kevin Hunter is still asking for money. So there's a lot of things going on besides like politics that I've done videos about. And some of my videos could have increased in views and my subscribers could have increased. But I just could not say that I'm for something when I'm not for something. It's just not who I am. I just can't do it. A lot of people do it on TV, but I can't. I can't. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna test it out and see. You never know. I'm gonna test it out. How many subscribers do you have? I know you changed your name. It used to be Tosh Time. You still say what? You still say that? A lot of those people that made videos on weight loss, they don't even do videos anymore. And no offense to anyone, but I don't think any of them actually lost like a lot of weight. Like, I think I'm the only person, the people who I followed at least, that I know that lost the goal weight that they want to lose. And then I gained it back plus more. And then I just recently did it again this year. I started last summer, intentionally. Then I lost 40 pounds. And then again, I gained like 20 pounds. So I was like 238, lost 40, 198, went back to 217 because I was working from home. Then when I started working at that shithole job, I would walk to work, walk all around the store doing stuff, stocking and everything, walk back home. And the weight that I gained from what I lost last summer, I lost that plus more. So 4 months ago, I was 194 and I'm still walking. So I'm probably like 170 now, 175, 170. My scale, I need a new scale. So it's been like 4 months since I checked my weight. So I'm sure hypothetically, not even hypothetically, I'm sure theoretically I can say I lost 10 pounds each month, or maybe even if I say 7 pounds from 4 months ago, that's 28 pounds out of 194. I mean, do the math. That's in the 170 zone. That's that's like 176, I believe, if my math is right. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 177. So yeah, I lose weight in the face and I lose weight here. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. But the thing is like when I lose weight, because when you saw me, I lost 80 pounds in 2017. And now I did it again. I think it's around like 60, right? I think Like 60. When I 80 pounds, I went all the way to 150. Now I look anorexic. If you go back to like the videos, one of my most viewed videos, you can see, and a lot of people they're commenting, they're like, "Are you on drugs?" Or I said permanent wrong, and people like were joking about it and everything. Like I look super skinny, so I put on some weight intentionally to like 160, and then I kept that off for like a year and a half. And then I went back to my old ways, McDonald's, sweet tea, da 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 da, gained it all back. Now I don't fuck with McDonald's anymore. I don't like McDonald's. Yeah. But I haven't had McDonald's in like 2, 3 years. And it's not because of weight loss, because people that just work there, they don't wash their hands, they don't clean themselves. And after COVID, now I'm gonna use this phobia word. I became germophobic because I'm being honest. Like I don't even eat at buffets anymore. Because people, they're just dirty and they coughing and people conserve themselves. And I don't know. I became really, really OCD about that. Even at Starbucks, I don't even go to Starbucks anymore because again, there's a certain type of look that works there. They have the nose ring, the liberal look with the dye hair and everything. A lot of them, they look like they stink, and then they just, even if they do this, wipe their nose or whatever, and they touch my drink, I'm not gonna want the drink. So I don't. In Starbucks, they changed their machines. Their espresso beans are not what they used to be. The quality has changed, but the price went up. It doesn't taste the same anymore. And it's like, why am I spending all of this money and you have to remake my drink because it doesn't taste the same? So I stopped going. So now what I do is when I go to the gas station, I buy that Frappuccino in the glass, and it tastes it tastes way better than them making it at Starbucks. I rather make my own food too. My thing is, here's the thing. When you first met me, when I lost that weight, I wasn't making my own food. I was making salads. But again, for this weight loss, it wasn't intentional. It's just because I was just walking everywhere. I can show you all these Reese's I have here. Eat Reese's. I've been buying like pre-made stuff. So I have a shopping addiction with food because I'll be spending like $20 a day, 25. Like today I spent 21. So I need to learn how to actually go grocery shopping. If I need to take the bus to go home, I take the bus to go home and then actually cook. Because that saved me money. Because I've been eating processed food for God knows when, like, over a year, 2 years. Actually, 7 years, like several years since I've been on my own. But here and there I would make some tacos. I haven't made my own food since like over a year ago. And when I say own food, like tacos, that's the only thing I know how to make. But I'm a very consistent eater. I can eat tacos for a week. I don't care. So everything's been pre-made, which is not healthy. Like I would buy like these, I don't know if you know what Zatarans are. It's like Cajun. It's like Cajun seasoning. And there's like different flavors. It's like shrimp Alfredo, crawfish Alfredo, blackened Alfredo pasta. And you just put it in a microwave. Oh my God, it's so good. And you can eat it. If you're from the South, you know what that is. It's like Cajun food. And just, lean cuisines or pizza. Like I bought this goat cheese spinach pizza. It's Sicilian. You put it in the oven. Oh my God, it tastes so good. It tastes like an actual pizza, like that you buy and you make yourself. But it's still processed. But again, my weight loss was, and I'm drinking juice. It was not intentional. I just started losing weight naturally because the one thing about not having a car is the weight loss. That's it. Um, yeah, Zatarans. No, I'm not like that though. That's not how I am. I'm telling you once. So when I was working remotely, when I gained that 20 something pounds out of that 40 pounds back, I was working remotely. So anytime I eat, I gain weight very easily. But because I walk, like I'm telling you, one time I walked 20 miles, which is crazy, just to go get my haircut and come back to my house. You know, put some earbuds in my ear, listen to music. I like to walk. I don't mind walking. So I've been doing that since November of last year. So within a year, I've lost this weight. It actually took me a little bit longer because I set myself up back when I gained that weight back. But again, I never really stepped on the scale maybe like 3 times out the year. because it was not intentional for me I didn't have a goal to lose weight. It just came off because I'm walking everywhere. That's my means of transportation. And I never took a bus by myself. So I even learned how to take a bus, but I still prefer to walk than to take a bus. So yeah. So I mean, it came off naturally, and I'm hoping it stays off. I need to. I don't want to gain it back. I want it to be off. Um. So yeah, it got so bad that one time I went to Dillard's and they didn't even have my size in a blazer. I was a size 52 for a blazer. The highest they had for men's was a 48, which is crazy. Now I can't even. Well, now I can't. I can't say I can't even. But the one I have now is a 44, and it's very loose. You know, so that's how bad my weight was. And I was approaching like a 40 waist, if not at a 40 waist. Pretty much it was there. Depends on the material of the pants. So I mean, I had to make some changes and stuff, and I still have to make changes. I can't continue to eat this processed stuff. I love salads. Like when I was living with my people, when I did lose that weight that I lost, I would go to Walmart, and at that time they used to sell catfish. I would get me 2 pounds of catfish. It would last me like 3-4 days out the week. I would chop them up. I would make some salads and prep it and everything. Then I made my own, and I made a video about this. And I would make my own like parfait because I love sweets. Like I would get some non-fat Greek yogurt. I would get the peanut butter powder that you put in a smoothie as opposed to actual peanut butter. But it tastes like peanut butter, but it's like 50 calories per serving. Like. And I would put that powder in my non-fat Greek yogurt and mix it. And I would take unsweetened cocoa powder, put a spoon in there, mix it up. Then I'll put some bananas and some blueberries and some walnuts on top, or some almonds, or whatever, some grains on top, and then put some raw unfiltered honey. Now, if you let that sit overnight, oh my God, the next day it's like all the ingredients come together. It tastes so good. Or even if you want to put it in a microwave, but even eating it at the moment, it tastes good too. But especially if you leave it overnight. And that's what I was doing. Very simple. I was having 2 to 3 meals a day. And then I also was doing that apple cider vinegar. Like I was consistent with doing that. That's my videos is pretty much my viral videos. One of them was about my apple cider vinegar. I did research on it. I watched the YouTuber Red Velvet. I'm sure she still make videos about weight loss. I watched her, and then I did some research about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna try it. The thing is about apple cider vinegar, because I don't cook at the time, the Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother at the time, it said put 2 teaspoons of this apple cider vinegar in water for 6 months. Guess what I was doing? I put 2 tablespoons. And so even when I was off of it after 6 months, I still have to keep using the restroom for maybe 3-4 months because I put so much in my system, you know. And it's so disgusting. Like it is nasty. I'm telling you, it's one time I was at the grocery store and somebody dropped it on the floor and I smelt it and I was like, I know what that shit is because I was on that shit for 6 months. Apple cider vinegar. It stink. So some people they put honey and they put some lemon in it to dilute the taste. I didn't do that. I just drunk it with. You have to drink it with a liquid. If you don't, you're gonna be in the hospital because it can burn your esophagus. And I just held my nose, and then I use a straw because it can make your teeth turn yellow because it's the pH level is very high, it's very acidic. And then after that, I went to the restroom, the bathroom, and I washed my teeth or whatever, just in case. But I was consistent. 30 minutes, I would wait, then I would have my meal. So I would do it like 2-3 meals a day, you know. But this time I didn't do it. So research wise says it doesn't support weight loss. But from my experience and from even what I've heard from other people, I did feel like it suppressed my appetite. I that's just my experience of what it was. I felt like I got full quicker. But again, for this round, I didn't even do it. And there's pills, but I'd rather have the liquid. I don't know if the pills, I don't know what that does, but I just got the Brags from the videos I watched on YouTube and from the research I did. I was like, let me try this. And it's also good for fungus and warts, and people put it in their dressing and even for like dandruff and everything. So it has some other good benefits to it. I used tablespoons for 6 months. For 6 months. 6. I'm telling you, I didn't do teaspoons. That's how ignorant I am with cooking. I used it for 6 months, which is technically, I would think that's dangerous to do it that way. You know. So, oh yeah, oh yeah. So when people ask me, "How did you walk all of that way?" I say, "Jesus." That's what I tell them, and they start laughing. So, I mean, I miss YouTube, but it's just hard. It's just hard to be consistent. I miss it. I love social media. I just love like marketing and just what it can do and everything. I love it and I miss it, but it's just like I still don't even know how to make those great thumbnails that a lot of these YouTubers they make. Like, I mean, I'm okay, but I'm not. I don't. You know how a lot of them they use those circles as thumbnails. Like, I don't even know how to do that, which is crazy. Like thumbnails make a big difference. I feel like if I was better at thumbnails and even better at structuring my titles, like I would get better views because the titles and the thumbnails is very important. It's like your first impression is very important. But I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to do thumbnails like how a lot of people know how to do it. So I'm not. I don't even know how to do Adobe Photoshop. So with me, I've used like PicMonkey. I've tried Canva in the past, but mainly in the past I've had PicMonkey, and like I just wasn't. I'm not good like that. Like how a lot of YouTubers, I'm sure like a lot of them they hire people, but some of them I'm sure they know how to do it too, but like I don't know. And some of it is simple. Like some of them they just again they cut the background or they cut their face and then they adjust their face whatever. But other times they do it very fancy and I'm like, "Well, I wish I knew how to do it like that." You know? So, Canva is good. Yeah, I don't even know how to use Canva. I've only used PicMonkey, but Canva is very good, especially for like corporate jobs. A lot of Canva and then Adobe Photoshop is a lot of times what these marketing agencies or these other jobs that need marketing people. That's like one of the skills they want you to have. Like I had one job, they called me, and they needed somebody that really needed to do well with Canva, whatever. And the salary was pretty, you know, pretty good, whatever. I wouldn't say like it wasn't like great, but it was like middle class. But they wanted me to take this test for Microsoft Word and Excel. I fucking hated Excel in college. I hate Excel. It's not that I don't hate it, it's just like to me, it's useful when you want to do budgets and formulas and everything, but it's like the class I had with the guy that was teaching me like how to do like Excel and Access, he would go super fast and everything. Like it's a lot of technicalities with Excel and everything. So I knew how to fail that shit. So I'm like, I'm sorry. They wanted me to take a test. That's what I should do. I should find a really good recruiting agency. I hate recruiters, but I've heard some good things about people saying they linked up with a good recruiting agency to get them a good job. Um, so they're out there. Because I'm tired of working these baby ass fucking jobs. Like I've sacrificed for so many years because it's like I could have got it. I could have gotten a corporate job like while I was in college and even after college, but it's just my focus was to do media. My focus was to follow my dreams and to do what I want to do. But when now it's like, um, it's not I didn't lose interest or whatever. It's just like it's not as I guess part of it is relevancy, and then other part of it is how the media handled things during the pandemic and stuff like that. The pandemic, excuse me. And then the other part of it as well is like just the propaganda and I just and then you got to carry yourself a certain way, speak a certain way. You can't really have a personality and it's just like and then a lot of stories that you want to do that are actual good journalistic stories, you got to fight for that and a lot of times again they won't allow it or it's a conflict of interest or whatever. So it's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't even know. They just think, oh, TV or radio, but especially TV. Oh, TV, they're on camera. Like, no, there's a lot. On camera is only like 2 minutes what you see on TV if you're watching, for example, local news. If it's at 2 minutes, if it's not at like a minute and 20 seconds. That minute and 20 seconds is 8 hours of work behind the scenes. You know, like it's a lot of people think it's glitz and glamour, you know. So, but me, I just wanted it because I love to ask questions. I like to find out stuff. I love to investigate. Um, I love to learn about different things. You know, part of it is okay. I've always loved, I love television and I love music and singing and stuff. So part of it, I'm not gonna lie. If someone says it has nothing to do with being on TV or radio or whatever, they're lying. I feel like they're lying. Part of it has to do with that, you know, with the lights and and whatever. But for me, it's like it doesn't have to be like that. Like I did YouTube for many years, you know, and that's not glamorous or whatever. I don't. So it's more about the passion. It's the passion and to find out the truth and hold people accountable and getting answers for the community and telling stories. And I actually do like editing sometimes, you know, the creativeness of it when you put everything together or like the thought process. It's like if you're an artist and you write music, every artist has a different way, or like a lot of artists, they have different ways of writing their own music. Some people, it comes to them quick, they write it down, or they just, when it comes to them, they take out their recorder and they just say it so they won't forget. Or a lot of them, they start with the melody before they start with the words. And so that's the same thing with editing, is there's like an artistic vibe to it. So that's what I like about editing a lot of times, from like the words you can use on the screen to the design of the words to the cuts, transitions. Like, you know, a lot of times it's creative and it's cool and it helps with the story. And a lot of times, like, I don't feel like doing this shit. Excel classes, yeah, but it's really good for budgeting and stuff. Like if you, like, a lot of people, they use it for budgeting, like formulas and everything. You just need to plug in a number. If you have the formula set, and it'll just tell you like how much money you saved this month, how much money you spent, your expenses. So a lot of people use it for that. So it's a good thing to know. Even Microsoft Word. I mean, I know how to do the basics of it, but a lot of times, especially if you're making a resume, it's so fucking annoying. Especially when you've done everything to the resume and there's this one thing that won't get into place, or it won't allow you to get it to the place you wanted to get to. And then when you get it to that place, all the other shit flops everywhere. So I hate Microsoft Word too. I hate that. So I never checked out your channel. I haven't checked out nobody's channel in a while. So you make cooking videos. Did you gain like more followings than you had? Like you never mentioned how many subscribers you had. Like how many subscribers you have. I know a lot of people, they block that. It's one of my pet peeves when people don't show their subscribers. Like how many subscribers did you end up getting? Oh, that's good. Cause I mean, even in the beginning when you started, you used to get a lot of, I mean, you know, like when, I don't know how many subscribers you had in the beginning, but I'm assuming maybe it was like 1,000 or less than 1,000. You used to get a lot of views even then. So, but what drama were you in? What do you mean drama? Like you used to do positive stuff. So when you talked about drama earlier, like what drama were you talking about? Because you used to, your videos weren't about drama. Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, a lot of people haven't been. I haven't, like, every now and then I would check on this one person for weight loss, and I haven't seen them make videos in a long time. Um, what's that girl's name? She's from Australia. Well, I think she's an American, but she married an Australian man. I forgot her name. I know she's like, she has a family now. I think she changed her YouTube channel name, but she's cool. But it's been a while since I even checked her channel, whatever. I forgot her name. Weatherly was her last name, I believe. But I forgot her YouTube channel because I think she changed it. Yeah, then she lost weight, I believe. Then she got pregnant. Now she got a family. And I think she got a dog. I forgot her name, though. Alexis Weatherly, I believe. Yeah, her. That's the only person that I believe is, besides you, that, and myself, that, well, I don't even make videos anymore, but that's like still kind of making videos here and there. The other people, they just stopped. The other guy, I forgot his name, smash the like button. He used to say that, and he used to have like the sounds when he would say that. Like I forgot what his channel name was, but when I used to check it out, he hasn't made a video in a very long time. I forgot what his name was, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. He was using I think people used to ask him like what software he was using. He used to say it all the time. But the guy used to say smash the like button, and then when he would do that, it would make the little smashing sound. But I forgot his name. And then they had this Caucasian guy who's into fitness as well, but he was fit. Like he wasn't even losing weight. He was just talking about going to the gym. I forgot his name too. He wore a hat on, like dirty blonde hair. I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. Then I think he changed his content to like more motivational videos. See, I forget people channel names. Then I had this other lady who was doing cooking videos. She was doing like, is it keto or keto videos. Again, I don't remember her name. Middle-aged lady. She wore like sunglasses a lot. Yeah. The black dude. No, nuh-uh. The guy who was doing fitness. Yeah, then there was a black dude that wore glasses. Then you just remember there a black dude who wore glasses. He was doing like gym videos and stuff. I forgot his name too. Yes, I don't even know who's still making videos. Then I had this Korean girl. I think she was Korean. I forgot her name, but I used to watch her videos during that time. So it's just been, it's hard to be consistent on YouTube. And then, then there's people that I don't know, like a lot of times YouTube changed people. Like a lot of people who are successful on it, like they just I don't know if you found it to be this way. It's just like, money or the viewership like changes a lot of people. I find that to be, like it just gets to their head. And then there's going to be a moment where it's like YouTube is just going to die down, at least for their channel, and they're not going to get the views that they once get. So there's a lot of those. Most of them, yes, and the comments get to the comments. Yeah, the comments get to people too. Yes, I mean, yeah, I mean, even vloggers that I've watched before I made, well, for like a decade or so, they don't get the views that they used to get on their channel. So a lot of them, they switch to Instagram Reels or TikTok or like YouTube Stories in order to get like more subscribers. They don't really do like videos anymore. I miss the days when people made videos, but I understand, for business reasons, if they don't do it anymore, they want to do TikTok or whatever for business. I get that because it's a lot, and if you're not getting the numbers that you're getting, I can understand like how demotivating that is. So you do other stuff too? The only thing I know is YouTube. I don't know how to do. I mean, I guess Instagram is not that bad, but I don't know how to get subscribers, or I guess for Instagram is, I mean, my thing with Instagram is it's like when you make a video, I need to figure out like how to make it for Instagram, like how to make the resolutions specifically for Instagram. Because a lot of times I'm like, in the past, I would get lazy, and the videos I would have on YouTube, I would just upload it on Instagram as it is without changing, what do you call it? Like the pixels, the width and the height of the video. And it would just like look very zoomed in. Yeah. So I've never done TikTok, but so it's so much stuff out there. I don't even know. So I just been watching. I just been watching stuff. Watching I don't really watch people channels anymore. So yeah. It is what it is. So do you converse with any YouTubers, or are you close with any of them? I don't like when people have like these beefs on when other creators make videos about other creators. I'm like, why can't people just be respectful? Yeah, I treat it a hobby now. Did you ever monetize it? I mean, I may start making videos again, but I'm not gonna worry about the whole editing stuff. I don't got, I mean, or the technicalities of it. I may just start doing it again. I just want to sit and talk and just get the views. I mean, the YouTubers that have it that way, I'm like, you know, they don't even have to show the clip of what they're talking about. They can just sit there and talk about the topic and they get views. Kind of like Philip DeFranco, like him. I know, and I know he come a long way with his channel. Like, he's been doing it for a very long time. But I don't think he shows clips, or from my knowledge in the past, he didn't really do. He just talks about the story. His producers just help. He has a team. I'm sure he has a team. But he doesn't really show clips. It's just him like talking for the most part, I believe. And he's still like, his channel is still good. Like, he doesn't lose viewers. A lot of YouTubers, like, they end up losing their viewers, like their analytics. But for certain people, it doesn't happen to them. I'm like, well, why? What are they doing for their channel not to lose views? And then there's other channels that end up losing views. Are you gonna make me hungry if I watch all of this? And I already ate, but I'm greedy, you know. So is that your new love, like cooking? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be hungry if I watch it. My stomach already growling from seeing that chicken sandwich. Okay, that's no problem. Thank you for stopping by. I wish other people would comment too. Be safe. Yeah, I'm hungry. I already ate. See, that's why I gained so much weight. Look, that rhymed. I'm hungry, but I already ate. That's why I gained so much weight. Great to see you. Keep making those cook. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch your videos. I'm gonna watch it to see. And maybe I can take something and make it for myself as opposed to buying all of this food that's pre-made, you know, and then going to the store the next day, you know. All right. Well, I'm sure once I get off of here, I'm sure I lost some subscribers because of the things I've said. Anybody else want to chime in and comment? All right, let's see. I don't know what else to talk about. So, I mean, I guess my YouTube channel can like come back in terms of like what it used to be. I don't know. I just don't know. I haven't really tried. I would say that like I haven't. I mean, I made some videos in the past. Let me see. Yeah, I haven't really. See, a lot. I do get new viewers. I do. I'm looking at my analytics. I do get more new viewers than returning viewers. So I'm getting new eyeballs like on the channel. Of course, most people who watch are not subscribed. That's typical. Mm. 1 second. I'm trying to just look to see. One thing about YouTube is they change their analytics, and where you just got to be caught up and schooled on how to do it, because they just don't stick to one format. They always got to change everything. So where you got to like relearn it. So I'm trying to see like who watches, what y'all watch. Let's see. So a lot of y'all watch my YouTube from YouTube search, and then my playlist is third, and then browse features. Let me see. Content. I'm trying to see. I remember in the past, YouTube, the analytics would tell me what content the people that view me. See, I don't even know how to word this. They would tell me basically what content the people that view me, what they watch. So they would tell me what content the people that view me watch, and I'm trying to find if they still have that, because that would tell me like the views, the values that people have. And so in the past, the reason why I would lose subscribers, so then if I would make a video that's not in line with someone else's views, that would cause me to lose subscribers, and of course not to gain subscribers. So I'm trying to see, but I haven't really made videos relating to a topic in the media. Everything has just been like live streams within the past year or so. So I don't see it on here like it used to show. So I probably would have to start from scratch and make videos. And then as I'm getting like my first 5 or my first 10, maybe it will tell me. Oh, okay. So I don't know. I'm too lazy. I don't feel like looking through this. I don't even know how to find it. That's the thing. It's just like so aggravating where I have to find shit again. See, you see how pissed off I get? Maybe I go to audience. Okay. Um. Let's do. So yeah, it doesn't really show me. Ha ha ha. Okay. Let's see if I can read any other comments. Yeah, so I guess I would have to make actual topic videos because I don't see it on here. I don't see it. I don't see it. Overview. Doesn't really tell me. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Well, I wanted to have a conversation with somebody. Anyone on? Who's the person that commented? And Lena loves God. He's up in there. AJ always. Let's see. Have you thought about covering the election? I'm so bored. Oh, wow, it's midnight. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I guess I have to get off because it's midnight. That's the other thing why I feel the way I feel. My sleep is off. My diet is off. I oversleep. I have to stop doing that. I have to stop doing that. But I do miss YouTube. I really do miss making videos. Cars. All right, y'all. Well, since nobody is adding to the chat, I guess I'll get off. I pretty much said what I needed to say. Yeah. Say what you need to say. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. No one's saying nothing, so I'm about to get off. Bye-bye. How do I get off of here?